till I feel a damn thing. If I have to give away this feeling that I feel, yeah. If I have to sacrifice for everything, for everything, if I have to take apart all that I am, is there anything that I ever have to since I die without you? Since I die without you.
How's it going? Jason from the Squeeze Box, and I have a wonderful and beautiful artist by the name of Karl Beatty. We just listened to his heavenly voice, and I gotta say, I'm just really excited to have him on this month's Local Squeeze. So here he is. How's it going, Karl?
Good. How are you guys today?
Excellent. And I gotta say, you have an absurdly beautiful whistle. Like, I love the whistle. I mean, the voice is also very good, but when you go there, you're just like, okay, voice good, whistle, dude. It's just a perfect harmony between the whistle and the voice, and I gotta say, love your stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I give the whistle credit to my grandfather. Hanging out with him on the farm when I was a kid, driving around on the tractor, he would whistle all the time, and I kind of got used to it from there. And it just kind of, when I started playing guitar, I realized I couldn't play a solo or even try to like the harmonica at all. I went ahead and used the whistle as my fill-in part. So.
Okay, well, it's definitely working for you. So I have a few questions prepared here.
All right.
So excuse me for reading on my phone. That's a lot to memorize. So can you tell us about your musical influences and how they have shaped your sound?
We're talking a lot of 90s rock. I mean, I graduated high school in 97, so, there's a lot of Pearl Jam, Incubus, Radiohead, Nirvana was gone, but Foo Fighters was coming in and all that kind of stuff. So there was a lot of that. And then I just kind of kept trying sort of to sound like everybody else until my voice fit itself. That was the hardest part, was taking them all to put them together to find out what I wanted to do instead of try to sound like everybody else. But
okay.
That's kind of a mix of all those guys, I'd say.
Heck yeah, that's a good mix. So what's been your favorite show or performance to date, and why?
I mean, there's so many I can't even really begin to think about it. Some of the best ones are when it's a family thing and there's just random people floating around, from little kids dancing up in front of the stage to an old couple sitting in the back listening. It's the ones where there's a little bit of everybody there, and it's being able to entertain folks from little children to 90-year-olds in a nursing home. It's just fun being able to have a nice diverse crowd.
You're just so stinking wholesome right now. I'm just saying, so how do you pick the covers that you play?
I used to just kind of listen to the radio until something hit me, and I try it once or twice, and I go from there. There's a few songs that I've learned for weddings, but I try a song once or twice, and people tend to tell me things all the time, what they want me to hear, but what it comes down to is I try it once or twice. If it feels good, if it doesn't, if I stick to it, it'll turn into what I turn it into by the time I'm done with it. But PM Dawn was a song that I remember listening to in high school, and probably making out some chicks in college to that song, or trying to anyways. And then all of a sudden I'm like, here, let's try that in 2023. And it's just one of my new favorite songs to do. So it's just, they come out of nowhere usually, really. It's anywhere from anywhere.
Heck yeah. So just, I know that because we played together, was it a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that, over at Village Theater?
Yeah.
That's where I first heard the whistle, and I've just been enamored the entire time. So can you walk us through your songwriting process and where you draw inspiration from?
Well, I mean, it really comes from a million different places, but I've never really been a whole bunch of a songwriter. I've written probably 4 whole songs my entire life, in my 20 years of playing and thousands of gigs played. They just kind of come to me, the ones that stick. It's kind of like the covers I play. Yeah, when I first started doing it, I'd sit down and I'd try to learn to play stuff, and I'd kind of follow the cookie cutter way people say to write songs, but it never really felt right. So I just would do my open mics for my gigs and would just kind of play what felt good as it went. That's kind of all I do.
Sure. Okay. So how do you keep your music fresh and innovative while still staying true to your style?
Only playing what I want to play and not closing out new stuff. there's a Jelly Roll song I play. There's a few Post Malone songs I've played along the years. You know, just I like. I'm not stuck to any one genre or any one thing. I like a little bit of everything. But again, if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I've got songs I've forgotten how to play for 5 years, and then it comes back and it just kind of shows up again. And it's like that song was fun, and it wasn't anymore. Like
Right.
Like now, Wonderwall is going to cost $100 to play no matter what, just because I can't stand it anymore. But there's just songs have their times. You know what I mean? It's what it comes down to, and things have their places. But there's some songs I've played since the first gigs I ever had, like Nutshell and some of those that'll just stick to you forever, and they just never go away. So
Sure.
I just like them all. I like everything that hits me the way I like to be felt. That's what it is.
Okay. So getting towards the end here, what has been the biggest challenge you faced as a musician, and how have you overcome it?
Well, in April of 2020, realizing that I just wanted to go ahead and be a full-time musician, and then COVID hitting was one of the hardest things I've dealt with. I had literally said, screw it. I had quit my job a couple years before and tried to start a t-shirt shop, and it just hadn't gone anywhere. And I had kind of given up the gigging life for a while. And then I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to start right. 2020 is my year. I'm going to start playing music again. And then COVID hit and, kind of put everybody in a weird spot. But, it was one of the hardest things was to kind of get back from that. But the nice thing about being from the Quad Cities is everybody here was insanely supportive. Any bar that decided they weren't going to completely follow the rules exactly right just had us play anyways, and we'd play outside and we'd play, the funnest stuff was playing curbside concerts, showing up at people's houses, and I had a battery and a power inverter and I'd plug a speaker in, and we'd show up in somebody's driveway or at a nursing home and play outside for the old folks in the afternoon. It was one of the hardest things we've done for a while, but it was one of the most rewarding times as a musician to actually get a little support for a while. I mean, it was a real good thing for us for a bit there. It was pretty fun.
That's
different
cool.
concerts at night. We'd go Facebook Live for an hour or so and just get on there and play live tunes. People would tip us a little bit just to kind of get through. It was fun. It was definitely rough.
Heck yeah. So last one here. Mm-hmm. Can you share with us any exciting plans or projects you have in the works for the future?
Well, I've got a lot of different ideas, like as I always do. I'm actually getting a little bit away from trying to do as many bar gigs. Like last year, I played almost 90 days in a row.
Wow.
I think out of that 90 days, I had 5 days I didn't have a gig of some sort, and I had 2 or 3 some days in the middle of it. So it was a long, hard run, but I'm in my 40s and I don't want to work quite that hard anymore. So I think towards the end of summer, I've got a couple of guys who I've been talking with. We're going to hopefully try to put together maybe an original band, do some fun stuff that I haven't done before. I really have just wanted to get back to doing a band, but I don't want to deal with all the things it takes to have a band with people who aren't ready, if that makes any sense. I'm doing it to work. I'm not quite out there just to have fun anymore. I've done it for so long as a job. It's kind of hard to just enjoy it. So I want to do it right if I'm going to enjoy it and write some original music, because if I don't, that's not going to be what I think it should be. So, I'm trying to step back from the bars a little bit, kind of get my center of what I want to do with music back a little bit, and then end of summer I want to try and start writing again. So.
Okay. Well, it looks like the bugle is calling. That's some interesting timing there, right? Well, I just got to say, I got a chance to kind of be on the other side of the stage of you. You've got a really amazing presence, and I like your aggressive guitar playing. Like, it's just got a really good sound, and can't say enough about the whistle, man. I'm not in any way joking. If you come out and see Karl, you're gonna like it. It's just really good. But yeah, I just want to say thanks everybody who watches these local squeeze segments, and Karl's gonna be the local squeeze for May, and yeah, we're always looking for some more musicians, more acts, and this is just the beginning. So thanks, Karl, for coming on. And
thank you. Karl Beatty Acoustic, and I have karlbeattyacoustic.com starting up next week.
Heck yeah, so go over and check his stuff out, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
break. We got more musicians coming in.